Guys, do you know that over 40% of people forget their New Year resolutions just after the first month? So when I read this, I was like, no, this can't be me, because the beginning of this year, I made a New Year resolution to read one book for each week in 2024. And believe me, I'm gonna push through it. You see, last week I read a book titled Nimue Freeing Merlin by Anne Kate Sullivan, and I did a video on that as well in case you haven't watched it. So this series is sponsored by onlinebookclub.org. Onlinebookclub.org is a book club website with a professional review team and over 5 million members. So back to the video. This week I read another book titled The Great Migration by Steve Ramirez. Now look at that. The name and the cover instantly draws you in. That was the first thing I liked about this book. So what's this book about? Now you see, the story goes like this. You have the kingdom of Genoa, and in the kingdom of Genoa there is a place called the Thunder Valley. This Thunder Valley is kind of like a mysterious place. Many people go there to watch a special type of animal living within that valley. They are called the Barong or the Brontosaurs. Bellona and her crew, they were led by a Zuni guide called Luther. So they had some casualties because these animals are fearsome and aggressive. People who go there do not always come back. But Bellona and some of her crew survived together with their guide. So it was a good thing for them. But after the tour of the Thunder Valley, they decided to go on a trip to the capital city of Genoa called the Crystal City. There was a great festival happening in the Crystal City of Genoa. The festival is called the Cabochon. So Bellona and her team, they went to the festival to celebrate. But there is another story. You see, in a different world entirely, there exists a different species of people. They are called the Botai, but humans call them the Esson. And they have a big problem. You see, their world is about to be extinct. 2 black holes are swallowing their world, tearing them apart, and they only have one option. They have to leave unless they will be out of existence. These guys are like superhumans. They are very advanced in their technology and they are strong. So their advanced technology shows them a way to migrate to Earth and escape destruction in their planet. Now, these guys also have a big problem, even worse for humans. You see, they have a fever within them. It's called the Lassa virus. And this fever, when transmitted to humans, it turns humans to zombies. And this is bad for the kingdom of Genoa. And so, guess when these guys decide to visit Earth? On the day of the festival. And it kills from then on. So Bellona and her team and many other people in the capital city only have one option: survival. They have to look for a way to get out of the capital city before they get infected by this virus. I tell you that the scenes that are portrayed in this novel is something out of the Army of the Dead movie. Guys, the scenes in this book literally made my heart race. You see, I'm not actually a fan of zombie movies or books, but this was different. The way the story was built up, like from the part where we were introduced to Bellona and her crew to when we get transported to the Crystal City and learn about the religions of the people of Genoa, there were fast-paced battle scenes in this book, and that's my niche. I'm a lover of action novels, sci-fi, and this book just brought that in the full force. And the romance theme in the book was just subtle and nice, and that was very great for me. Also, there were some zombie battle scenes in this book that just made the atmosphere thrilling. The suspense in this book just kept me glued to it. For a first novel of Steve Ramirez, I have to say that this was a great publication. It should be no surprise that the apocalyptic atmosphere in this book was thick. Like, everyone was just thinking that the world was about to end. People were running helter-skelter looking to survive this fever that caused everyone to bite other people. One other thing that impressed me in this book was that the author paid attention to every detail in the book. The Crystal City where the main attack took place was described to detail, like to the last nail on the ground. Sincerely speaking, I'm not being cliche when I say that the battle scenes between the zombies, the Esson, and humans literally kept me on the edge of my seat. Like, I was just scared that something bad was going to happen to one of the main characters, and it was crazy. There was a part of this book that I did not really like. You see, the structure was crafted in a way that each chapter carried a different story from the last. So let's say this chapter talked about Bellona and Luther and their journey in the Thunder Valley. The next chapter talked about King Cortes, who is the king of Genoa, and his antics in the court of Genoa. Sincerely, I was wondering how Bellona and her team in the Thunder Valley connected with King Cortes in the Crystal City, and how the Esson or the Botai fit into all of this. But as you read on, you get the overview of the entire story and it's clarified. For me, I felt like it could have been better structured in a way that seamlessly connects all the stories together. So, if I were to rate this book out of 5 stars, I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars. It was a great read. This book just made me fall in love with zombie novels. Like I said before, I'm not a fan of horror movies and novels, but this book just changed my ideology around them. Listen closely. If you're a fan of sci-fi novels, or you love watching zombie movies or reading zombie stories, and you love anything that has to do with fantasy, romance, and action, adventure, you need to read this book. This book is like a perfect blend of all those genres, and it's no surprise that it's not just one book. It's actually a series of 3 books, and I'm sure that anyone who has read this one will want to continue the entire series. It's that interesting. So guys, don't forget that onlinebookclub.org is a book club website with a professional review team and over 5 million members. So if you're an author and you're trying to promote your book to a wider audience, Online Book Club is the go-to place for book lovers around the globe. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week.